If you want to make your very first YouTube video, by far the easiest way to do so is by using the smartphone that you already have. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to record your first YouTube video with your smartphone. Now, step one is to decide what is your first video going to be about. Before we get into all of the gear or filming, we've got to decide what is the actual content that we're going to be recording for our video. But an important note here is that you don't want to overthink this, especially for your first video, because your first video is going to be a learning experience. And trust me, this will not be your best video, but it's an important first step to getting consistent with making more content on YouTube. Your goal is to think of one simple idea, jot down a few notes or bullet points about how that video is going to flow. What is the introduction going to be? What is your middle and your core body going to be about? And how are you going to wrap up the video? And really, that's all you're going to need for your first video. A really simple framework that we like to teach our students here at Think Media is the ASQ method, or answering specific questions. So what is one specific question that a user on YouTube might be searching for, and your video could meet them with the answer to their question? That is a great starting point for your first video. Step number two is choosing a background to record your video. And if you want to be super formal, this is also called location scouting. And typically the easiest way to do this is to grab your smartphone and turn on the selfie camera, and then just walk around your bedroom or your home office or even your entire house and just look for the best angle to film your video in. And for today's video, I actually found this cool little background setup in our bedroom. And I haven't really filmed a YouTube video here before, but I wanted to show how simple it actually can be to rearrange a couple things in your frame, make an intentional decision about where you're filming, and you can actually get a pretty cool looking scene even in a small bedroom space. You might also want to listen to the room that you're in and just make sure that the sound environment is not too echoey, or you're not super close to a window that has a lot of traffic near a road. So just some sound considerations you want to think about for your recording scene. Now, step number three is to get your gear set up for recording. And the key thing here is you just want to use what you already have. Starting with your camera of choice should just be whatever smartphone you already have. Smartphones nowadays have incredible image quality. And as I look at cameras I had 5-6 years ago, all of these modern smartphones take as good a video quality as all of those cameras, so just start with your smartphone. A couple settings you do want to make sure you have dialed in are shooting in 4K resolution. That'll get you the best image quality. Additionally, make sure your frame rate is either 24 or 30 FPS if you're shooting regular talking head style videos like this. If you do need some slow-mo footage, you could increase your frame rate to something like 60 frames per second or 120, but for most talking head stuff, 24 or 30 will work just fine. Once your phone settings are all dialed in, you do want to make sure you put your phone in a stable position. So grab yourself a nice little phone tripod. There's really cheap ones. Like I'm using one that's like $18 off of Amazon. It works totally fine, so grab something like that. Or something I do all the time is just put my phone up against some books or even my water bottle. If I'm on the go, I just pop my water bottle on a table, lean my phone up against it, and it works for a really easy on-the-go setup. Now, if you do have a microphone that works with your smartphone, I do encourage you to use it. A lot of times those internal microphones on your smartphone are not that great, especially when you have to move further away. So for this video, I'm using the Hollyland Lark M2. It's a really basic wireless mic system that comes in different variations for as cheap as like $70. So this is a great starter microphone that you can take a look at to improve your audio quality. And then finally, lighting is optional. You don't have to add video lights to your scene, but it can really increase the quality out of your smartphone and not have your image be so grainy if you're relying on just interior house lighting. So a couple of lights that we do recommend would be, first, there's a 2-pack lighting kit from Nice VD that comes with everything you need for only about $50. It's a really great starter kit. For this video, I'm actually using the Amaran 60D and one of their soft boxes. So that's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but it's a really nice soft lighting look. And I can use this for many, many years because it's such a high quality light. If you don't have any video lights, that's okay. I encourage you to try to put yourself near a window and leverage natural light. Like depending on the time of day, even this window right over here produces some really nice natural light early in the morning. It's really soft, and I can actually pull this kind of transparent curtain a little bit over to make even a softer light. So natural light is a great way to improve your image quality as well. And an easy way to remember all of this is the acronym we use here, AVLS. It stands for audio, video, lighting, and stabilization. If you make sure all 4 of those pieces are dialed in before you hit record, you should be good to go. Now, step number 4 is to actually start recording your video. And I know this can be the most overwhelming part of the process. Like the moment you hit record, it's like, you forget everything. Like, what just happened? I thought I had my whole plan and all this stuff, and now I'm overwhelmed. I feel that, everybody feels that at the beginning, but there's a couple key things that you can remember here. First and foremost, messing up is completely normal. Everybody messes up. I've messed up like 30 times when recording this video, so do not get on yourself for messing up. And the second thing is you don't have to try to record all in one take or to be perfect all the way through your video. That's not necessary at all. What I like to do is actually take a video section by section. So I break apart my video into multiple bullet points, and I'll just focus on one piece of content at a time, and I'll re-record that thing 3 or 4 times until I feel like I nailed the take before moving on to the next section. If you mess up a line or two, just go back a sentence or so and re-record that portion. You don't have to restart your entire video. This saves you a ton of time, and you can always remove those mistakes later when you're editing. So just give yourself a ton of grace for this first video. It's not gonna be a perfect video. You're gonna mess up a bunch, and that's okay. Now, step number 5 is to review your video right away after you record it. So instead of immediately breaking down your whole setup, go ahead and take a few extra minutes, hit the playback feature on your smartphone, and watch the video that you just recorded. Your smartphone has a wonderful screen on it that's really sharp, it looks great, and the speakers are actually pretty good as well. So you can watch that video back and get a sense for, was your framing okay? Did your tripod shift at all and do any weird things? Did your microphone ever get muffled, or did your lighting shift at all? These are all things that you can look for in your initial review and can save you a ton of time if you realize in the moment, oh my goodness, I like messed up 2 or 3 things that I can just quickly re-hit record and record right there in the moment, then trying to reset up everything later. So an initial review process is really important, especially for your first video. Now, before our last step, there are some frequently asked questions that people ask all of the time in our comment section that we want to answer right away. So the first question is, do I actually have to record in 4K image quality? And the short answer is, no, you can record in 1080p. Minimum, we'd recommend 1080p. But what we do notice is a huge increase in quality for 4K videos, and YouTube itself actually prioritizes 4K uploads. So if you can and you have the space on your phone to record in 4K, we highly encourage it. If you can't for whatever reason, we do encourage you to at least record in 1080p quality. Another question we get all the time is, how do I actually compose my shot? Like, where do I sit in the frame? How do I set up my shot to look good? Well, a good rule of thumb is to remember the rule of thirds. And I'll put some grid lines right here on the screen so you can see what the rule of thirds would be. There's lines here going vertically up and down and then horizontally across the frame, and it creates these different intersections. But ideally, you want your eye line to be on the line that's on the top of the screen, the top third of the frame, not actually right in the middle. Like if I was right in the middle of the screen, it would look like this. And it's like kind of weird. There's like all this extra headroom up here. That is not ideal. You actually want your face to be resting on the top eye line, and that'll be a good and well-composed shot. Another question we always get is, can I use the rear camera or the front-facing camera? Like, what's the best one to use for my video? And typically the rear cameras are always gonna look a little bit better and sharper. So if you can use it, that's great. But nowadays those front selfie cameras are actually really good as well. And to prove it, for this entire video, I'm actually using the selfie camera on my iPhone Air. So whatever makes the process of your first video easier, that's what we would recommend. For a lot of people, that's gonna be that selfie camera, so just use it. But if you like the way your rear camera looks, then you can use that as well. Now that brings us to our sixth and final step, which is you need to edit and publish your video. You spent all of this work planning your video and getting your equipment set up and recording. Now it's time to finish the job and make sure you edit that video and then publish it for the world to see. And if you need help editing your first ever video, even just right there on your smartphone, we have a great video that you can check out right here. That's how to edit your first YouTube video with a smartphone. You can go ahead and watch that, and I'll see you in the next one.